Hello guys, back with another one of those commentaries. Even I don't do commentaries, but today we have Sparksky, and he is quitting thumbnails finally after a long time. And today we're gonna be talking about it.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, can you give like a brief introduction of yourself, just what you do, what your name is, and stuff?
So I'm Sparkskye. I have been in the Hive community for about over a year now. Before I actually started, I made a thumbnail for someone on YouTube, a small Hive creator, before I actually even started my channel. But I didn't actually. It was back then my thumbnails were nowhere near the level they are today, and I didn't actually start to get involved and make thumbnails consistently for people until the last 6 months. But over that time, I've made a lot of thumbnails.
Yeah, you have made too many thumbnails, actually.
Yeah, and I never would really I didn't think about what was happening. I was just people asked me, and I wanted to help them as much as I could. So, and I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it so much because along the way, I've been able to improve my design skills and get better.
Yeah.
And that's been, and as well as just helping people, that's really the two main reasons why I enjoy doing it, is because my art and design is my passion.
Yeah.
And then helping people is also my passion. So it just seems like the perfect way to combine both of those.
And you're way too good at that now. A little bit too good, actually. Alright, okay, join my party so we can actually queue Skywars.
Oh.
Alright, so next question. Okay, so how, you don't have to go in detail, but like how did you get into thumbnail making for Hive creators?
So, the first thumbnail I made was, it was before I started YouTube, and I hadn't even thought about making thumbnails, but someone just found me, and at that time I was already doing like pixel art and texture packs and some design work, and they asked me for a thumbnail. Even though I hadn't made one before, I thought I'd give it a try, and it wasn't very good, but they still appreciated it. And then from then on, like as I said, I didn't make that many thumbnails, only the occasional thumbnail for myself and friends. But at some point, once I got into the Hive community enough, they started to see my thumbnails, and then a lot more people found out about me.
Yep.
And that's when I really started to make a lot more.
Alright, dude, Hive is just not allowing us to get in Skywars. It sent me the message that you joined the party, but you are just not in my party.
Oh.
Alright, let's go on to the question that everyone actually has clicked the video for. How did you get to the point where you have to quit making thumbnails for basically every single Hive YouTuber consistently for free? How did you get to the point where the demand got too much? How did you get to the point where you're just doing like 20 thumbnails at the same time you have from people, as you told me? How did you get to that point?
There are three main reasons why I think I need to take a break, or at least slow down making thumbnails. And the most important one, I think, is that I'm worried, and you talked about this with me too, that it may not be helping the creators in the long run.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm making great thumbnails for them, and their videos might be getting better CTR and stuff, if I do have to stop eventually, then that, especially for small creators, they might have to suffer from that loss a lot.
And if you like make it like paid or something, then the small creators won't be able to do it, and you will only be helping the big creators, which is kind of not your thing, right?
Yeah.
It's against what your thought is.
Exactly. I don't really, it doesn't really matter how many subscribers they have to me. I want to help anyone I can.
Yeah.
But I have, so my clients are, anywhere from very, very small creators to, the big YouTube ranks. And the other part of that.
Can I put up like those two screenshots on the screen that you sent of those two? Yeah. So those are the kinds of messages he gets from like the big creator. Okay, this is a hacker. Well,
no, I think he's on NA. He's just following me. This is a friend of mine.
Oh.
I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so I was gonna say the other part of the warning that it's not gonna help people in the long run is that because I'm just one person, right, and I've developed my own style. Yep. I make thumbnails for so many people, but they're actually quite similar to some extent because I have a similar style.
Yeah.
And that can, prevent people from developing their own style for their channel.
Plus that also limits your art. Like you can try out much more stuff if you're doing it for your own thing, because you don't care about experimenting, and because of that experiment you get less views. But if you're making it for someone else, they expect like that quality and that type of style from you, so you can't really experiment too much, so it limits you kind of too.
Yeah, it does to some extent. And that leads into the next point, that the other reason why I need to slow down, I think, is that I can also have my channel, I haven't been able to grow as much because I've been so busy making thumbnails, but a lot of people have told me, including you, that I could have a much bigger impact on the community as a whole if I grew my own channel as well.
Yeah, your own numbers can do a much more than like basically running the whole, like you have been helping the entire community out this whole time, but of course you can't keep it up forever, right? So it only does worse for the community in the long run.
Yeah.
But if you do it yourself, if you gain audience yourself, get audience to the hive yourself, then I think that has much more of an impact in the long run.
Yeah, hopefully.
Plus you can you have made these like connections with by making thumbnails from people. You can use those connections to like collab with the big YouTubers and grow your own thing. So that's the thing you can benefit off of from making thumbnails.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting to make so many connections with big creators like this, but it has been really wonderful to make those connections.
Frick. Okay, I died. Are you alive?
Me too.
Yeah.
No, I died.
Are you okay with talking a little bit about what's your plan moving forward with your channel? Like, what do you plan to do with your content, or is that something you don't want to talk about right now?
No, I'm happy to talk about that.
All right.
I've had so many ideas for making content. This is death when I don't even know how to play this.
Just run. That's all you gotta do.
Yes, so this popcorn's still following me. Yeah, so I've had a lot of ideas for making videos. Most of them, so at the moment my channel is mostly focused on texture packs. Obviously the thumbnail tutorial did really well. Yep. And then just the occasional video that's, for fun and interesting. But I really want to get into making kind of story content. Not necessarily like I'm making a video about my thumbnail journey now. And that's more of like a real experience. But even if it's just, telling a fictional story or something, I really want to, because that part of video editing where you're sharing an experience and making the viewer sharing that experience with the viewer and making them feel that is what I really enjoy about editing.
Of course, yeah. I think every video, as a video editor, I can completely understand that. All I do is try to make the audience feel something. I think that's how almost everyone gets into video editing.
Yeah, the story is the most important part of any video, I feel like.
Yeah. And you have to show that, you have to have enough skills to show that story in a good way, do the story justice.
Yeah, because if you don't know how to edit that, or if you do it in the wrong way, it can really detract from the experience as a whole.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna focus on like story type content, but before
Yeah.
that, you could also do some content with your thumbnails, like the skills you already have. So editing will take time to develop, so the story
Yeah.
type content will take time to actually develop, and you will it will be some time before you can actually make those things good. And of course, making some ones that are average will give you more experience and help you edit the other things, the next ones better. But you could also just like initially you could use your skills in thumbnail making and make content about thumbnail making. You could start with that.
Yeah, and I think I
Yeah.
want to do that because there are so many people who have been asking me for more content on thumbnails, like whether it's tutorials or just like the one I'm making now about telling my journey of how I became the thumbnail guy.
Yeah.
I really want to make those kinds of videos because that's what people are asking me about a lot, and I think I have a lot to share there as well.
Yeah, and we are making a collab together eventually, right? We are doing a thumbnail competition with me, you,
Yeah.
and Faceless as contestants.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, hopefully me and Faceless can give a little bit of competition, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you have been making like how many thumbnails have you been making like every single day?
So normally I make in varies, because some days I just have to take a break and I don't make any thumbnails because I have something else I need to do. But
On average.
days when I am, on average, I'm only making one or two on average probably. But some days I make like 4 or 5.
Yeah, like, okay, how many thumbnails do you usually have to like make? Like you
So,
have it in your
I try, because I always have about 10 to 20 thumbnails that I'm working on.
yeah.
So I try not, once it gets that 20-ish mark, I try to not accept any more thumbnails because I'm just going to lose track of the older ones and I don't want to forget about them.
So you do have like you have denied people who have asked you for thumbnails before, just
Yeah.
because of overload. And
Yeah.
how were you already planning to like eventually quit sometime before I went in your DMs and just asked you stuff and then kind of told you should quit? I like before that you got convinced pretty easily, so I'm guessing you were thinking
No.
of quitting before that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about it a lot of times in the past, and a lot of people have asked, especially close friends,
Yeah,
have
that
asked me
makes sense.
to quit. And so that's the main reason is, and I keep procrastinating and second guessing it because I just see all the people I'm helping and I really don't want to disappoint them or let them down.
Hey, look,
But
the YouTubers understand how long it takes to make like a normal thumbnail, so they should understand how long it takes to make a thumbnail like yours. And if you have like 10 to 20 thumbnails at almost at all times, you reach those numbers, then it's just not good for you. That's just
Yeah.
it's better to focus on your own thing at that point. So
yeah.
I
And
think
that's partly my fault, is that I accepted too many requests and I overworked myself when I could have just been working on fewer ones and doing a better job at them.
I mean, it's when you think about like getting accepting fewer requests, then you have to think about how will you who will you deny. That's the thing you have to think about, which is
That's
kind of
so
hard.
hard.
Yeah, that is
It is
really
hard.
hard. So it's better to just either keep doing keep doing all of them or just quit, because it will be unfair to the people you're doing it for, and it will give the advantage to the people you're actually making it for, and it will
Right.
mess the people up who you are not making it for. Plus, if you make like a thumbnail for one channel and then they ask you for one more, and the next upload you just can't make one for them, it will also mess it up for them. Like one thumbnail is the best thumbnail in the world and the next one is just something they came up with.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that, so normally when I have had to slow down or stop requesting new requests, normally what I do is I focus on making thumbnails for the existing customers so I can continue to make that, to give them that level of quality thumbnails, but then I just don't accept new customers at that time.
Yeah, that's a good
plan. That's what I try to do.
Yeah.
But it's hard. And
that's basically the only thing you can do besides quitting. So that's a good plan you have been doing. So I think, as I said, the YouTubers will understand that it's overworking
Hopefully.
you. It's overworking you, and you have to focus on yourself too. You can't be making thumbnails forever. And the earlier you quit, I think it's better for the community. The earlier you stop making them, the earlier the community will adjust to it itself. Like it's not about giving the community time to adjust. Once you stop, it will automatically adjust itself. I think you can't really there's no middle ground, right? You can't, as you said, it's hard to deny and accept one thumbnail and deny the other, because how could you choose? So it's
right.
There's no middle ground. You either have to keep doing it or you have to stop. You can't give the community time to adjust anyways. I don't see how you would do that. The community needs to adjust itself. I mean, there's a possibility that once you quit, there's a possibility someone else will, start getting more jobs. But I don't think there's anyone else who is doing the thumbnails for free. So
I haven't seen many people that are doing that to the same extent that I am.
And to the same quality you are. Like anyone can do a made thumbnail, but the quality you achieve for free is kind of a lot. I surprise myself sometimes that I could come so far, especially on mobile, because when I first started, I thought a lot of the thumbnails I was trying to get to that level, I wouldn't be able to on mobile, but because I was able to find specific software and things that no one else was using at the time, I was able to develop a new workflow that worked really well for this kind of stuff. Dude, I'm saying this, people underestimate mobile. They think that they only have access to mobile apps, so they can only do average stuff. People have done more better stuff on mobiles than the above average stuff on PC. I think people do underestimate what mobile can do a lot. And it's always changing, because I think mobile is growing faster than PC in terms of the software that's being made for it. So plus you have you can use those pencils, which always helps, which is really hard to get on PC, because you have to have a separate drawing tablet or something.
Right, yeah. That's my favorite part about using a tablet on mobile, is I can use the pencil. I saw that one thing where you time lapsed you making a thumbnail, and you did all the lighting and stuff in the editing app and not in the 3D app. That to do that with the level of precision you do it, I think you do need a pencil to do that, right? It's much easier because even though I'm just using most of the brushes I'm using are just airbrushes, it's so much easier to do them precisely with a pencil than if I was doing it with a mouse. I don't know how people use a mouse to draw.
There's with mouse, I can say with my experience, there's things to help you with it with a mouse, but I have a drawing tablet now, so I don't really do that anymore. But there are things like smoothness and stuff in softwares to help you with that. But anyways, I mean, let's not do say that you need a pencil to make thumbnails of your quality. Let's not limit the thoughts of people. Let's say it makes it easier, but it's still very much possible to do it without a pencil and just with a mobile.
Yes, I could do everything I'm doing, I think,
Yeah.
I'm now without a pencil. It would just maybe take a bit longer
Yeah.
to get it to that precision.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just a matter of saving time on that. Alright, so what did we discuss so far? We have discussed how you got into thumbnail making, like briefly. We got a brief introduction. We briefly discussed a little bit in detail why you're creating thumbnails, how you got to that point and stuff. Do you want to say anything else?
One thing I want to say is that it's been just so amazing to see how much people have appreciated my thumbnails, and how interested people are in learning how to do what I do. Like, the support on my thumbnail tutorial was just so amazing, and I've been able to help so many people learn, and
better than self.
I'm still learning myself, but just that so many people are eager to learn to do thumbnails, and I really want to help them get there, and I think I want to focus on that a lot more as well.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to, even though I may not be making thumbnails for people publicly anymore, I still want to continue to develop my skills, and I want to help people learn to do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you could do you have like a thumbnail feed? You have a thumbnail feedback on your Discord server, right?
A thumbnail what?
A thumbnail feedback channel on your Discord server.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's that people use it to get feedback on thumbnails, and I think that's one of the best ways to learn and improve is getting feedback. That's how. So before, my thumbnails did not start to get better, like improve actually, until I joined a server that was about thumbnails, and I started to get feedback from experienced designers, and that's because they would point things out that I never thought about myself, and that's how I actually started to fix those mistakes and improve and learn new things that I never knew. So I think that's the best way to learn, is just to try, to practice, and to get feedback on your work.
Yeah, to expand on that a little bit, feedback is like the most important thing, right? And the thing about feedback is it can be a double-edged sword. If you get the wrong feedback from the wrong people, just like making fun of your work or something, you have to like be careful with that, with feedback.
Yeah, you don't, just because you get feedback on something, you don't have to, do everything they tell you to.
Yeah, and don't be like depressed from feedback. Don't like, it's always best to keep your emotions out of feedback. Like, take it very objectively, think about it.
It should just be constructive. Yeah.
And if someone's giving you feedback like just completely like putting insults on your work, then it's not like, the feedback could be good, but if someone's just putting out insults like freely, most of the time it's not that good of a feedback. It should be constructive and not personal like that. So don't take feedback like emotionally seriously. Just take it like objectively seriously.
Yeah,
I made the mistake of like thinking too much about feedback, and I got like depressed and stuff every time I saw bad feedback, and it really halted my growth in editing. My editing skills really bad in the starting of my career when I started getting into more advanced editing. But now I've learned a lot of things, and you have to get to the point where you know how to take feedback properly. And I think Sparkseye did it like better than anyone. You improved really fast, like extremely fast.
Yeah, I was surprised just how quickly, when you're trying and you're consistently practicing, you can improve. It really doesn't take that long. But yeah, what you're saying about feedback is a really good point, and I think if you just stay positive and you take everything in the most positive light you can, and you don't get sad or feel like you're failing, then that's gonna be help you improve the most.
Just remember the fact that it doesn't matter how you're doing right now. It only matters what you try to do to make it better in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because plus, I mean, if you see all these, when I see your thumbnails, if I was like, I didn't take feedback nicely, like if I was at that time in my career, I would probably be like seeing your thumbnails and getting depressed that I can't make stuff like that. But now I see your thumbnails and like try to recreate them. I mean, not recreate your style, but try to recreate them so I can learn how you actually made them. And I think I didn't get disconnected.
Okay, I think you just cut out for a bit, but I think I heard what you're saying. Yeah, you shouldn't feel like you cannot reach that level, because I'm pretty sure no matter what your limitations are, you can get somewhere that you want. You can get where you want to be.
You can get anywhere you want to be. Plus, let me say this thing, because this thing really bothered me when I was improving my editing skills. If you think something is good, if you think something is cool, if you get an idea that you think is cool and you want to make it, and someone else says that nah, it's gonna be cringe or something, don't listen to them. If you think it's gonna be cool, make it. If it turns out a little bit cringe, it doesn't matter. Just do what you think is cool. In thumbnail making, I don't think this really matters too much, like how can a thumbnail be cringe, but I just want to say this, since we are talking about feedback and stuff. If you're making like in my case, I like making movies and stuff, and I like recreating those feelings you get from an actual movie. I want to recreate that feeling in my own videos, and sometimes because I don't have enough skills and I mess up the pacing or anything, it turns out cringe, because it's not good enough to actually give those feelings to the viewers. But if you think it will turn out cool, just do it. Don't listen to anyone. If you think something will turn out cool, just make it. It's your choice.
That's so true. Just at the end of the day, you just need to follow your heart, and that's going to be what leads you to be your best self. It just do what you feel your heart is telling you to do. What you feel like is what you feel is best in your heart, and that's going to result in the best outcome, and it's going to make the best product in the end.
Yeah, just because someone tells you to stop. I mean, if you're doing something like wrong, and it's kind of gets complicated, because someone could be telling you something that you should change and that will make you better, but at the same time someone could be telling you something that is their opinion, and you need to not listen to that. But the thing is, you need to just think for yourself. You need to be thinking about the feedback you get. And you need to think like, is this feedback good for me, or is this just something I need to, if I don't follow it will be alright, and I can just work with what I have right now. You need to be on your foot thinking like that, and you will be alright.
Yeah, and that's where I think it's helpful to get feedback in public spaces, like public channels, because sometimes if people do give you feedback that's not going to help you, then other people will give you contrary feedback, and that you can kind of balance those multiple perspectives to get and you should treat everything with an open mind, because I think there's probably some truth to whatever they're saying.
Yeah, because they're saying it thinking something, right? They're saying it because they have experienced something, and they are saying it from their experience. So look at it from their perspective too.
Yeah, exactly. You should never discount something because you don't think it applies. You should always try to think about it with an open mind, objectively, and think about it from their perspective.
Like maybe let's say a bigger YouTuber gives you some YouTube advice. Maybe a smaller YouTuber giving you YouTube advice might be better advice. Be just an example.
I think anyone can give good advice and good feedback.
Yeah. Experience does help, but in the end it's all like what your experience is about. Like if a YouTuber gives you advice, it will probably be about the YouTube and stuff. But if a smaller YouTuber gives you advice, it might be, they might have had different experiences that align with yours more, and if they're giving you your good advice, it might be better than the bigger YouTuber. You just need to treat every single piece of advice on its own merit. Think about it, apply it to yourself, and then decide. It's alright if you take some feedback wrongly, right? If you think that this feedback won't help me at all and don't do it, but then you realize it's fine to later realize that this feedback was actually good and you should have followed it. It's fine. You can make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yes. Mistakes is one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah, because sometimes I just, look at feedback and start overthinking for a whole day. I just keep thinking about that one line that one big YouTuber said. To me, yeah, it's fine.
It can be easy to overthink things.
Yeah. Well, that's how everyone gets better. No one is good in the start. Everyone is terrible and garbage in the start.
I think your mic keeps
needs to get better.
It's more about how fast you learn and everyone learns at a different pace. So just don't worry about where you start. Don't worry about how long it takes. Just keep trying.
Well, so as of recording this video, you have not quit yet. You're still making thumbnails for people, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But hopefully when this is public, you will have already made the announcement and quit making thumbnails.
Yeah, so I've started editing my video about my thumbnail journey, and I think I'll probably post the announcement along with that, because it'll explain why I'm stopping, and then also my whole journey and just how wonderful it's been.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything else about anything else about why you're quitting? Any other insight or anything?
I'm just feel very thankful to be in the position I am today. I'm so glad that I was able to help everyone. I hope I helped them. And I want to continue to help them learn, even if I'm not able to make thumbnails for them.
Yeah. You did say that the demand was too much and you were starting to, not keep up with the demand of the thumbnails. So rank it. How much was it? How bad did it get?
In terms of how busy I was and
yeah, was there a time where you were missing deadline? Did people set deadlines for you to make those thumbnails?
Yeah, so normally when people ask for a thumbnail, I try to give the information about the title and stuff, but I always try to ask also when they need it by, so that I can, because then I try to work on the ones that are due the soonest so I can get them done in time. But sometimes I do just forget about them, or sometimes I can't finish them in time. And that weighs on me every day, because I'm always trying to think about what I need to do next.
Yeah.
And
that must feel bad, having to prioritize some thumbnails, and when you forget some of them, that feels kind of bad.
Yeah, because some ones get delayed for a long time, because I just feel like I always have something that's higher priority to do, or that's due sooner.
Yeah.
So that's really, and a lot of people, I feel like I've let down a lot of people that I just couldn't make thumbnails for, but even though I was trying to get to them, I just couldn't. I didn't have time.
It's fine. I think they will understand. You have been making so many thumbnails. Have you got all your thumbnails in one place? Every single thumbnail you have made?
So not every single one. I've gotten the best ones in a portfolio website. I made that a couple weeks ago. But I'll probably add my newer ones there. I don't think in total I've probably made about 150 to 200 thumbnails, which is a lot, but it's not. Some people say a lot more than that. And I think that's just because, it's easy to, it just seems like so many.
So the estimate of the total number of thumbnails you have made is 150 to 200.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
probably,
honestly that's too much.
Yeah. Well,
I
because
would.
it's multiple thumbnails a day for like 4 months or yeah, probably the last 6 months is when I've been consistently making thumbnails. But
you have made 200. Let's just go with 150. I guess you have made 150 thumbnails in 6 months. People usually make like, I don't know, 6 thumbnails in 6 months. You know.
For their videos, yeah.
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 I think it's time, and I think you're doing a good thing finally, you know, by leaving it behind. I don't think you should think about it too much. Like, just do it. Just do the announcement as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You could also, like, if you're procrastinating a little bit, you could also try, like, whenever you're like about to be done with the video but you're still like not quite done because you're procrastinating, you could also just make the announcement and say that I'm gonna be uploading a video about it tomorrow, because then that will give you motivation to just get the video done by tomorrow, because you have already made the announcement. I do that a lot.
Yeah, I think making the announcement kind of forces you to commit to it.
Yeah, and it's good. That type of commitment is actually good, because then you can't procrastinate. Then you force yourself to just do it.
It makes you move forward.
Yeah, I did that with my latest video, and I announced it on Tuesday, but I uploaded it on Sunday. So I was like working through all those like 4, 5, 6 days fully.
Yeah. Because you wanted to get it done in time, because you already made the announcement. Yeah.
And I probably would have spent way more on it, like procrastinated, if I didn't make the announcement. So I think in the end, even though the announcement was not good, I delayed it too much, but in the end it helped me. So you can do that once you're almost done with your thing.
Yeah.
And wait, so should I upload this before you upload your video? We can upload it like around the same time, right?
Yeah, I'll probably let you know when I'm done with my video. It's gonna be it's probably gonna be, I think it's gonna be my favorite video, because
it's gonna go like personal, and give all the, you can speak your heart out about everything you have experienced so far.
Yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That feels good. Oh, hello.
Oh, this slime is... I don't know how slime works, because I never bounce properly.
Yeah, I have noticed this pattern with like the, all the creative people in the community, like Faceless and you. You guys don't play Hive. I don't actually play Hive that much, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I really do enjoy playing it. Like, especially, like, I don't play all the games. The only games I really play are Sky Wars and Bed Wars. Those are my favorite, but like, I'm still not max level in them, even though I've been playing for a couple years now. And I just don't have time to. I have so many other things I need to do.
Exactly. Like, it's the same for me now, but earlier, like, I procrastinated so much that I just leveled up everything. But now I'm kind of like shifting back and actually not procrastinating, so I don't have time anymore. Well, so are you gonna go into like animations too, or are you just gonna stick to editing and thumbnail making for now?
I've always wanted to animate, especially 3D animation. When I was younger, I would do stop motion and claymation kind of animation stuff, and I would make these little films, and I really enjoyed that, because it's just another way to tell a story and to edit a video. So getting into 3D animation, I'd really love to. I just haven't figured out how to yet.
I would suggest like taking tips from Faceless. If you wanna just do like basic Minecraft animations, ANIMATE is probably the easiest thing to start with, right?
Yeah.
Faceless does it.
I would just wish it was on mobile, because like so much of the stuff I do is on mobile.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Wait, so
Strikes.
Are you gonna switch to PC for animations, or are you gonna find an alternative on mobile?
I think I need to use PC, because I haven't seen anything that can do the kind of animation I want to on mobile.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I think
It's
even
not available
MyAnimator like limits you, because you
Yeah,
can't
and
do
isn't
like
there's like a paid version too, isn't there?
no, MyAnimator is completely free.
It's completely free, really? Okay.
Yep. Oh wait, I think it is. I think it is.
Okay. Because, yeah, I still haven't learned how to use it much, but it does seem like you can do quite a bit in it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do more advanced stuff, like build your way up to more advanced stuff, you can start with Blender. That's not a, Blender is completely free, open source, and it's not a
Yeah.
bad option to start with. And I could help you.
Yeah. Is that what you use to animate?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, my brother uses Blender a bit, just to do model. He hasn't gone into animation yet, but yeah, it seems like a really, really solid application. That's also
the thing about Blender is it's not made for Minecraft animations, right? So you can basically
No,
do everything you can do in like MyAnimator, but also like add some okay, so Blender is kind of crazy, all right? It has too much, so you will want to learn slowly and nicely.
Yeah, because it's used for so many different things.
Yeah.
But it can make it hard to do exactly what you want to do.
I mean, you could make 2D animations, 3D animations, you can basically do anything in it. Like
Yeah.
You can basically make anything in it, or it won't be like, let's just say you can make anything in it for now, because I don't want to get into stuff why like more advanced people don't use Blender and use like other softwares, professionally. Yeah, that's just a whole another thing. But
I think you can probably do anything I need to do so far.
Anything needed on YouTube, anything literally.
Wow, it's only like the cinema film stuff that
if you
might want to.
Yeah, there they use like more softwares built for those things. Like those kind of softwares are absolutely so complicated. They are kind of hard to work with.
That's a whole career just there.
Yeah. Let me just name some of them just to, just because I know them. Maya, ZBrush, Houdini, Substance Painter, they have like different softwares for everything they need to do. So they use like Maya for 3D modeling, for texturing they use Substance Painter, for like sculpting and stuff they use ZBrush. I've researched all of that because I want to go into that field.
Yeah, that's a really amazing. So they have to go between different software for each phase of the making a film.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Blender. Blender is not the best in any of those things, modeling, sculpting, animation, or anything, but it has all those
do all
things.
of them.
Yeah, it can even like video editing and 2D animations, and you can trump all of them together because it's in the same software. Everything is compatible with each other, so you can do 3D animation and include 2D aspects in it, stuff like that.
And that must just be so convenient and nice to be able to do it all in one software.
Exactly. So that's why like everyone in YouTube, everyone who makes like any kind of any level of stuff on YouTube uses Blender.
Yeah. Right.
Although its video editing tools are not up to date, so the people usually don't use it for video editing, but it has the simple tools.
I've never heard people using Blender for video editing.
It has some tools for it. Like it has a whole section for video editing also, although people don't use it.
Wow.
Wait, did I just kill you? I just killed you. I just killed you.
I'm really I'm really not good at this game.
I know. I probably shouldn't like target you like that. Let me just go away.
Yeah. I also want to practice like 2D animation with like illustration as well, because drawing and painting is one of my favorite things to do. And the app I use to paint and draw is, have you heard of Procreate?
Yep, it is kind of good. It is really good.
It is really good, yeah.
Yeah.
So it released a an animation software called Procreate Dreams, and I really want to learn how to use that to make 2D animation.
That's nice.
I'm not sure.
Right.
I'm not sure how it will fit into my videos because, Minecraft is 3D and
No,
maybe
dude,
like
go for it. Like, even if it doesn't fit, go for it. That's why I'm saying, like, about being cringe. Some people, sometimes it will look cringe, but just go for it, because sometimes it will not be like completely in sync with each other. Like my animations, my 3D animations are not their pacing do not fit in with the rest of the video, but I still do it because eventually I will learn how to, because if I just don't do them, then I will never learn. But if I keep doing them, then eventually I will learn how to match their pacing nicely with the Minecraft stuff, like Faceless
that's a good
does.
point. Right.
Yeah.
Well, your animations are my favorite part of your videos because they're just so cool.
Dude, Blender can do some awesome, like what I do in Blender is not even scratching the surface of what Blender can actually do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've been learning so many things in Blender, like it's just a lot.
Yeah. I really want to learn, even if it's just a few things. I want to try to start using Blender.
Yeah, that's the thing about softwares. You don't have to be like completely good at
An
it.
expert.
You can just you just need to spend a day just learning the basics, just a day, and then you can learn anything specific, very specific you want, and you will be able to do it. You just need one day to learn the basics in Blender.
That's crazy that you can you can get started so quickly. You don't have to need weeks just to get started.
Yeah, that's the thing. Blender has like a whole community built around it. So there's like this one playlist of like the basic tutorials that you can just watch in like a single day, and just you will know all the basics by it, and then you can learn anything specific, anything.
Right. Yeah, I think you really do have to follow along with a tutorial though, because like in some applications I can just be in there and I can just fiddle around and try to find where things are, but I don't think you can really do that in Blender.
Yeah, you can't. You never. Also, you can never skip the basic part. You have to spend that one day learning the basics. I made the mistake of not doing that, and my initial Blender stuff that I made was terrible because I didn't know any of the basics. You just need to spend one day. I just spent one day actually sat down, learned all the basics, and then I could do basically anything in Blender.
Yeah. The basics build the foundation for the rest of the stuff you do.
And remember that in the start you will be following tutorials a lot, but don't like feel guilty about it, because that's how everyone starts. But eventually you will get the hang of it and you will be able to make stuff on your own too.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time I can watch a tutorial and figure out how to do something and then apply it in a different way to make something that's kind of unique.
Yeah.
So
one thing you could do, and I'm gonna do in the future, is like make 3D models in Blockbench, because to start with, to match that Minecraft vibe, it's better to make it in Blockbench, because if you make it in Blender, it's kind of overcomplicating it too much, because you're just making cubes, right? So if you want to make a Minecraft model, then it's better to just make it in Blockbench, but then you import it in, you can like very easily import it into Blender to like animate it, which is much better than any other software in terms of animation, you will find.
Right, yeah. I find, especially for Minecraft models, like Blockbench seems very, very easy to use, and also it can do basically anything you need to do for modeling.
Dude, after learning something like Blender, if you just open Blockbench, you will know how to do stuff. Like
it transfers over?
No, it doesn't transfer over. It doesn't completely transfer over, but it's very easy. Like, it's the same for all the 3D software. You just extend stuff. You get a block, you can scale it, move it, rotate it.
The basic mechanics work the same.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I didn't really have to watch any tutorials to learn how to use Blockbench though, because it was quite intuitive. just the interface and stuff. I found
yeah.
it pretty easy to pick up on. That's the funny thing about how I did my thumbnails is because I basically haven't watched any other thumbnail tutorials fully, and I didn't follow any tutorials when I was learning, because I had a few applications that I already knew how to use, and then I developed my own way of doing them, and that's what
so
made my
cool.
thumbnail. Yeah, and that's what made my thumbnail tutorial so different, because I was using applications that no one else was using for thumbnails before.
Dude, that's actually so cool. I wanna like do something like that with animations, like make my own way.
Yeah, you have to. The key is to already know how to use the software.
Yeah.
Even if it's different software, you have to know how to use it, and then you can apply it to something that maybe it's not intended for.
Yep.
Like the application I use to render Nomad Sculpt is made for sculpting, but I use it to render Minecraft players because it can open the models, it can pose them, and then it has the best rendering features of any iOS app there is. It can do lighting, it can do post-processing effects, so it can make them look really good.
Yeah, and I think you don't even like. Once you get into animation, you will find it a little bit difficult because you do all the lighting in the 2D software, like most of it, right? Most of the lighting in the 2D software. So once you get into animation, you will find the lighting difficult because you don't have the experience. You need to like get good lighting, so you will have to learn that. But you know, because in animation you can't go into every frame and do it in 2D, right? So
so
the initial
most of the lighting and stuff you do in you do in the animation instead of the edit snap.
Yeah, you have to, because you can't do everything in post production.
Right.
So you know, it's different for animation, but you will have to learn it. But I think you have the right mindset and everything to be able to get into it pretty fast. And you already like from 2D things, you already know the basics of lighting, so I think it's not going to be too difficult for you to even learn it in 3D. I think it's even going to be easier because in 3D you don't have to worry about like all the patches. I mean, I think actually though, I think it's going to be a little harder because in 2D you can decide, in this area I want more light, so I'll just color the light in. But in 3D you will have to keep in mind that where the light is coming from, where you're actually placing that light in the 3D space, and that will decide the lighting of the whole scene. So it is difficult, but you will get the hang of it.
Yeah, I just need time.
Yeah.
If I can have time, I'll figure it out eventually.
Dude, everyone just needs time. Everyone wishes they just had more time.
Yeah, that's the hard part, especially as you get older.
Yeah.
You get less time.
When you're young, like I remember when I was young, I was
wish
so
I'd
bored.
Used some of that time to learn these things.
I think everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, I was so bored when I was young, but then when I started doing all this work, now it feels like there's not enough time.
Yeah, you never get bored. You always got something you have to do.
Yeah, now it feels like, why do I have to do this? Why can't I just not do this?
Yeah.
Why can't I just waste time? Get some dopamine hit from like shorts or YouTube or something.
Yeah, if only we could, think about this stuff when we were younger.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been so good if I had started even younger. Like learning Blender, I would be so much better at it now. Well, at least we found our passion. Like, we are pretty young to found our passion. It's not like we are too old, right?
Yeah.
You should be.
You
are still a teenager, right? You don't have to state your exact age, but you are a teenager.
Yeah.
And I am 16.
I'm in college.
Still. Oh.
You're 16?
Oh, bro. Really? Okay, so I'm the only one who's still stuck in school. Faceless is also in college.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I started college a bit young. I started college, I think, at least a year younger than most people do.
Did you start college when you were like 17? You said you started early.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm gonna start it at 17 too, actually. Yeah.
Okay. I also did then something where I started taking college courses before I was in college.
Oh.
It's like early college kind of thing, and that helped because it kind of gave a nice on-ramp into the kind of
started
work that I'd be
taking
doing.
college courses while you were in high school.
So if that's something you can do, that I'd recommend that.
Alright, so we talked a lot. Do you have anything else to mention or something?
I think we covered pretty much everything, but thank you for doing this, and thank you for helping me think about it and come to a decision, because I keep
hard.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
easy to
after seeing like those messages from like Little Tub Bubble and who was the other one? Fenmo? Who was the other one?
Rubixla was the other one.
Oh yeah. Dude, if I saw those messages, I can understand. I wouldn't quit. I would just keep doing what I'm doing. But
and it's not just them. I from so many different people, I keep getting those messages, and
yeah,
I just don't want to let them down.
Yeah, I feel you like completely, but I made the same mistake. Like I never got like that popular in the Hive community that I'm getting asked by everyone. But when I did, I was popular for editing in the Hive community. I still am kind of, but when I really got popular, at that time many people came to me for editing for them. But the thing about me is, at that time I was procrastinating like whole days, so I couldn't even like start editing for everyone. So my cycle of like editing for everyone didn't even start. But for you, because you're already used to working like every single day, so that cycle for you started, and you didn't escape that cycle, because you just started working for everyone, because you didn't procrastinate too much, which is a good thing.
Well, you should be much more popular, because like I think the first thing I saw from you was that Revive the Hive video, and that was so good.
Okay, so now I look at that video and I think it's the cringiest, worst thing ever I made.
Well, yeah, I mean, it had some parts that were really
I looked back at it like a week ago, I think, and I thought it was good. I thought, at the time when I had just made it and published it, I thought it was really good. But then after a month of publishing it, I thought it was the cringiest thing ever. But now when I looked back at it like a week earlier, like from now, I thought it was alright. Like it was, you don't have to.
We always have a different
perspective at different times.
Yeah. We always have a different perception of our own work than other people do, it feels like.
Yeah. And I always have this feeling, and still, because I went through months of feeling like that, but I always have this feeling whenever I'm making something like that, what will other people think of this? Will people think that this is cringe? And I'm trying to eliminate that feeling, because it just limits me.
Yeah. But as you said, you just gotta follow your heart in the end.
Yeah, like that whole god animation, I would have never made that. Like if I had thought of making it like, I don't know, 6 months ago, then I would have never ever made that, because I would have just instantly thought, making myself look like a god, nah, cringe.
Yeah.
Other people will think it's cringe, even though the animation in my head at least it looked very cool. Even if it didn't turn out like it was in my head, I should make it still.
Yeah, things never turn out exactly how you picture them in your head, but it's that dream, that idea that really is what makes it special.
That dream, that idea really sounds so good. Like it gives you so much motivation and dopamine. Like that's all. I think that's how everyone starts. There's no other way to start it, right?
Yeah.
Like when you think about making a movie, like you get these ideas. Now you can finally turn those ideas into reality because now you're creating finally thumbnails and you will have much more time.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you kind of did start like saying thank you for helping me. You started saying the things you would say at the end of the video, but then we went off track. I think it's alright. This is uncut, so whenever we want to end, we can end. If we don't want to end, we just keep going about random things.
Yeah, it's been really great. It's wonderful to hear your perspective, and you really helped me think about it a lot. And I don't really do commentaries. I haven't talked. The only video I've talked in so far is my thumbnail tutorial.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to talk about things. And
yeah, that's what this channel is for. I also did the other video with Faceless where he talked about high summer blast, just talked his heart out. And even if no one listens to him, I think there are more people will listen to this because you making thumbnails is much more popular than the whole high summer blast thing, because I mean high summer blast was one singular event, so that got less views, but I think more people will be interested in listening to this than that.
Faceless is such a good animator though.
Dude, he's another level. Dude, the pacing he gets and how he matches animations with real Minecraft stuff. Minecraft cinematics is so just good. Coolest thing ever.
Yeah. But that's my favorite part about video editing and those animation things, is just getting that time in and that music, so everything just fits well.
Dude, I wish Faceless was here to defend himself, but I'm gonna say this: there's a darker side to what he does. Okay, so the thing about him is he kind of has perfected his style, so he doesn't want to get out of that style. He wants to just keep doing that same style over and over again, because he does that's his comfort zone. He doesn't want to get out of it. I've been trying to force him out of it
to that level
with
forcing
him to learn after
so much. It seems like it's what you want to do.
Yeah, because I feel like if he had the tools I have in Blender, he would be making some absolutely phenomenal stuff, another level stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like he's limiting himself by staying in his comfort zone of things he knows how to do.
Yeah, it can be hard to branch out and experiment with things that you're not. I'm trying to learn how to use different software to edit thumbnails on for free to teach people. And it's so hard because I'm so used to using these particular
really
apps. So it can be really hard to branch out.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the opposite for me. I feel like I branch out too much. I want to learn every single software, and I never perfect every single software. So I'm kind of the opposite of Faceless and you. I need to stop branching out and get better at the things I'm doing right now. And Faceless needs to branch out much more.
I think there's a really positive side to both of them, but you just need to get the right balance.
Yep. I don't wanna I don't wanna say that Faceless' animations are bad, because they're absolutely perfect and good. But I still wanna make it clear that I wanna see more from him. He does the same thing over and over again still.
Yeah.
He has the same loop, he has the same timeline, the same work line he's comfortable with. Blockbench, MICO, CapCut. He needs to get out of that. There's so much he can do in Blender that he just literally, he has told me so many times, not so many times, but he has said this line to me that, well, I can't do that in my animator. Then learn Blender, you idiot.
Yeah.
Why are you staying with my animator if it limits you? Just learn Blender. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I need to do the same thing with. I need to probably, learn how to use PC software and things. Like, even for videos, I edit videos on mobile, even though I record most of my things on PC. Just because I know how to use the software. But, yeah, I need to learn how to use more advanced software.
Yeah, I think it's alright. I mean, even if you don't, like, switch completely to a new software, like, at once, if you just think something, like, you can just pay, as I said, just learn the basics first, give it a day or two, and then you can just pick out one particular thing you want to do in that software and just connect it with the software you're already using, and you can just do that one specific thing. Even if you do that, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you need to start doing that. You can't be like Faceless. See, I can talk a lot about Faceless because he's a friend. I can call him an idiot and he won't care.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's what I've really appreciated about helping people with thumbnails is I've gotten to meet so many amazing people.
Yeah.
And it's great.
I think you can strengthen those connections even more if you get famous on YouTube. Then they will come to you instead of thumbnails. As I told you this, instead of thumbnails, they will come to you for collabs. And with collabs, like we are doing right now, we can strengthen those connections much more than just making thumbnails for someone.
Yeah. Because
Plus it will help them more. Like, let's say you get like 10k subscribers, right? And then you collab with someone smaller than you. If that small YouTuber is like making actually fun content, but people are just not finding their channel because like maybe he's using bad titles, like not like his titles and thumbnails are not interesting enough, but his content is still really good. You could like help him by collabing with him and like give him the audience he needs. In the end,
I think there's a lot of creators out there that make better content than much larger creators, but they just don't get the attention because they haven't found the right audience yet.
Yeah, and collabs really help with that. But the thing with collabs is you need to have like enjoyable content on your channel already, because if you collab with someone that doesn't have enough content or enjoyable content, then it's just a waste for them. You need to be you need to have enough content and enough content, enjoyable content, and then you can think of collabing. So I think this is the thing I'm also gonna say in a different commentary someday, but I think people value thumbnails and titles a little bit too much, because in the end, if you're making like entertaining content, even bad videos and titles, you will get a lot of views on them.
That's very true. And I think people overestimate how much a thumbnail can do, or how much, like, it can't save a bad video, or a video that just doesn't. In the end, I think it's the video that ultimately will make a video succeed.
Because videos have two elements, right? That that entails its growth. One is CTR, which is really helped by thumbnails, but the other thing, watch time, right? The video needs to be enjoyable to get good watch time.
Yeah,
and
I think that's what determines whether a person is able to grow and when their videos do well is just the videos themselves. Because if you can grow the right audience, it doesn't really, your thumbnails become much less important. Yeah,
then your thumbnail is just something there to like tell the audience what the video is about, and not like something to like your thumbnails are something people have gotten used to now,
because they already know and can expect what they're gonna see.
But thumbnails don't need to be that like good looking for people to click on them. You just need to have an interesting idea, and if if you have enough enjoyable content, it won't even matter if you have really good thumbnails and really good titles. Like, look at Defect, right? He makes really simple, all the commentary YouTubers, they make really simple titles and thumbnails but still get a lot of views because there's an audience for them that enjoys their videos. So whatever they make a video on, their core audience will watch it because they already know that they're gonna get that enjoyment out of their videos. So in the end, what matters what matters the most is the videos. The actual videos are enjoyable. Then you can, of course, improve the thumbnails and titles and get more audience, but the main thing is the video.
Yeah, definitely. But I do think thumbnails can help you branch out to, beyond your audience.
Yep.
So they definitely do help, but it doesn't, in the end, it's the video that is going to matter.
That's why I can freely say I actually just don't like how you were helping the small YouTubers, because I think if they made actually enjoyable content on their own, that also gives you if someone else is making thumbnails for you, then you don't get that experience you need, right? You need even if you're making very average thumbnails, but if you just focus on making your videos themselves better, you will also start getting the sense of YouTube and start understanding what makes a good thumbnail. You don't have to have Sparkseye level skills to make a good thumbnail. You just need to know what you need to tell with the thumbnails to your audience, and if you tell the right thing with the thumbnail, you will get clicks. So
it's the concept of the thumbnail is the most important thing. I think the making it look visually appealing and stuff can help, but in the end, it's not gonna click with viewers and make them want to click on it if it's not interesting.
That's why I didn't like too much, because too much what you're doing for the small creators, because they need to understand what makes a good thumbnail, and because you're just doing all the composition and the content of the thumbnail for them, that kind of ruins the concept of YouTube entirely, of someone doing stuff, learning stuff and growing by themselves.
Right. So I try when people if people do have ideas for a concept, I try to always use that first. So I try to see if they have an idea for the thumbnail, and then I just apply that concept.
But
a lot of
the thing about that is once you actually make those thumbnails, the concept, whatever concept you have in mind, first of all, that won't be the first thing you make, because it won't turn out like the concept you have in mind. You need to be experienced enough in making thumbnails to actually be able to get your concept exactly on get the concept exactly into reality. You are experienced enough, but they need to understand that whatever concept they have in mind, it doesn't matter if it's the best concept in the world, they need to be able to make it into reality, right?
Yeah. And there are just a few basic things that if you can do well in a thumbnail, it can make it as long as people can actually see it, and it things aren't too small, or the colors aren't really off, then just basic things like that can help a lot.
Yeah, people underestimate art theory and stuff, just learning the basics of color theory and understanding contrasting colors, how they help stuff, and understanding all that can make your thumbnails tons better, so much better.
Yeah, that's just getting those basics down is the most important part, I think.
To make a good thumbnail, you just need two things. Let's say three things. Concept, but most people have good concepts. Most people get good concepts and ideas, but the two most important things is composition first, because you need to actually get that concept into reality in a good way, in an eye-catching way. And second thing is color theory, so the thumbnail actually pops out. I think that's the only two most important things you need. Other than that, it's just lighting and stuff. All that is just extra stuff to make the thumbnail look better. to do good on YouTube, like for as a base level thumbnail, you just need to those two things. You don't need like Sparkseye level lighting and skills and all that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that stuff goes along with color edits and the color theory too, and is that that's just making it, because you can take a thumbnail that has the basics, the foundation, and then you can improve it later. But
and
it's really that scaffold that is important to start with.
Yeah, and that's the thing I didn't like a little bit about how Rubixel said that I have been struggling with thumbnails. The thing is, Rubixel is smart enough, he has enough skills, he knows enough about YouTube to make really good thumbnails, but I don't think I think he just gets demotivated whenever he's making thumbnails, because he starts making a thumbnail, sees that it's not turning out good, and that gets demotivated and doesn't that happens a lot when you're starting out making thumbnails. The first couple thumbnails you make are gonna be terrible. They're gonna be so bad that you just don't want to continue. But there's a click. I think that's the issue with like learning stuff. There's a learning curve. There will be that one point where it just clicks for you. Like you just suddenly start making really good thumbnails. But you need to work hard enough to like get to that click, so it has clicked for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same thing in editing, in like graphic design, and basically anything. That one click you get, and then you can do stuff really good. And I think that's the thing. That's the way to learn stuff. And because that is basically the only way to learn stuff, many people don't get to that click, because they get demotivated. Even though they have the skills, power, brain, everything to make good thumbnails, they get demotivated before they even get to that click.
Yeah, I think staying positive, believing that you can do it, and just enjoying it is the most important part of learning pretty much anything.
Yeah,
you can't get demotivated.
Yeah, and people keep saying, so many people say that mindset is everything, but until you actually understand that sentence, that mindset is everything, it won't work. Like, probably everyone has heard that line, right? Mindset is everything, but until you actually understand it, nothing, it won't actually matter.
Yeah, I think that's very true. But
alright, we can, I think we talked about everything. We can end if you want.
Yeah, I think. But thank you so much. It's been really great.
I just killed you.
Was that you? I think so.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, I can do the outro. If you want to do the outro, you can, but I can't do it.
Oh, you can do it. I don't have much experience with outros.
Dude, I have no experience. I'm doing an outro for the first time too, but it's fine. Let me try it. So that was it. Okay, I don't want to do a YouTube outro on this one. I'm just gonna say thank you, Sparksky, for coming here and speaking your heart out, speaking everything you wanted to speak. Hopefully you spoke everything you wanted to speak in this video you had in mind. And I also spoke a lot of things I had in mind that I wanted to just get out there. Even if not that many people listen to it, it doesn't really matter. It's always good to get your thoughts out, and eventually people might track back on this channel, and when let's say you get to 10k subscribers, eventually people might get see this commentary and see, oh, that's why Sparksky stopped making thumbnails and started making content. And they will see me killing you multiple times in Death Run.
I'm so bad at this game.
Well, that's been me and Sparksky, and that's all we had to say. So click the videos on the screen, because I gotta promote my main channel. I need views. I want views. There's probably one person, I believe in myself, there's one person watching still to the end. And he's gonna click on the video on the screen right now.
Yeah.
And he's gonna subscribe because I told him to do so.